Good morning. In memory organization, we have learned about main memory. And in this class, we will learn about auxiliary memory and associative memory. Okay, so first about auxiliary memory. These devices provide backup storage. Having a large capacity, this auxiliary memory is used to store the data and programs before processing or even after processing. Okay, as a backup storage, these auxiliary memory devices are used. The generally used auxiliary memory devices are magnetic disks such as hard disk and floppy disks. Here, hard disk, this is a hard disk. It has this circular surface, okay, that is rotated. This rotates at a high speed, and the read-write head, okay, this read-write head is used to read or write character in the hard disk. And magnetic tapes, okay, these are similar to the tape recorders that are used in earlier days. Okay, the tape that is mounted in this, and the tape can be moved forward or it can be moved backward, and the read-write head, okay, is used to read or write character in the tape. When it is unwound, the read-write head is used to read or write characters. And magnetic drums, okay, here we have a magnetic drum, the cylinder, okay, the drum that is used to store the character. These are magnetized, okay, to store the, even this is the magnetic disk. Okay, we will learn about this in detail. Magnetic drums, the drum, okay, it is rotated and the read-write head is used to read or write character from this drum. Okay, when it is rotated, when it comes under the, this keeps rotating. When it comes under the read-write head, that head reads or write the character depending upon the operation initiated, okay, whether it's reading or writing. And optical disc, okay, such as compact disc, CDs and DVDs, what we are using nowadays, okay, mostly. Even hard disk we use, that is fixed in the computers, and this compact disc, okay, CD we are using nowadays. Okay, so these are optical discs. These are the commonly used storage, auxiliary storage devices. The characteristics, if we see, the data loss characteristic, it is non-volatile, meaning when the power is switched off, the content of this memory is unchanged. Okay, that remains unchanged when the power is switched off. So it stores permanently. And the capacity is huge. Okay, we know that compared to main memory, this auxiliary memory devices are used to have large storage to reduce the storage space in memory. Okay, when we have a large auxiliary memory, this okay, backup storage, the main memory space can be reduced, which is expensive. Okay, so it is here, the storage is huge, capacity is huge, and access is slow. Okay, in the hierarchy we have discussed, this comes in the lower level. Okay, hierarchically from the fast devices to slower accessing devices, slower operating devices. If we arrange them in a hierarchy, this comes in the lower level. Okay, so here the access is slow compared to main memory and cache memory. Those are very fast operating devices. Okay, fast access memories, and the cost is less. Okay, when the cost generally depends on the speed, because when the memory is a high speed memory, the cost also increases. Here this is the cost here is less, okay, compared to the other memory units such as main and cache memory. They are very fast and expensive. Okay, these are the characteristics. It is non-volatile memory. The content remain unchanged when the power is switched off, and the size, the storage capacity is huge. So large programs and data files can be stored in this. Okay, when they are needed to, for process by the CPU, it can be brought to main memory. As a part of a program or a part of a data file can be brought to main memory depending on the size availability, and then again brought back to, sent back to auxiliary storage devices. Then it is slow, the access is slow here. As it is slow access device, the cost is less. So when we see this access time here is the seek time plus transfer time. Okay, what is seek time? Seek time is the time to position the read-write head at a location. For reading or writing a character from this memory, from any auxiliary memory device, the read-write head need to be positioned, okay, in the given location. Then the read-write head is used to read or write a character. So seeking the character or finding the character, okay, that is the time to position the read-write head at a location is called seek time. And transfer time is time to transfer data, okay, from this device. Once it is located, once the data is located, the transfer of data from this device to main memory. Okay, so that is the transfer time to transfer data. These two together, when you add the seek time and transfer time, okay, that is called access time. Okay, total access, totally for accessing the data, the time taken for accessing the data is access time. And transfer rate is the number of characters transferred per second. Okay, that is how we measure the transfer rate. Okay, the speed of transfer using this transfer rate, the number of characters transferred per second. So when we talk about this magnetic disk, okay, we will learn here about magnetic disk and then magnetic tapes. About the internal organization of this hard disk. Okay, hard drives generally have several disks or platters with an electromagnetic read-write head for each surface. Okay, here if you see, here is a circular plate. Okay, it is a disk and several disks arranged, okay, with the connected using the spindle in the middle. And they are connected to the read-write head. Okay, this is the read-write head that is used to read or write a character from the disk. Okay, so here this is the top surface of the disk, and at the bottom, okay, the disk, if you see, it has two surfaces, top and bottom surface. This is the top surface and the below one is the bottom surface. So we have two read-write heads, one at the top to read the characters from the top and one at the bottom to read from bottom. Okay, so this way hard drives generally have many disks connected, and this disk rotate together at high speed. Okay, when this disk rotates, this read-write head, which is attached to this arm, and when this disk rotate, when the character that is to be read or specified address, okay, point comes under this read-write head, the read-write head reads the character from that location, or if it is write operation, it writes the character, okay, with the help of the little current applied to this, okay, that magnetizes the spot, and it reads or write the characters, okay, from the given location. This is how the operation is done. Okay, it consists of several disks or platters with an electromagnetic read-write head for each surface, okay, for the top and bottom surface. So this disk rotates at high speed, okay, and the read-write head that is attached to the arm is used to read or write a character from the disk. If we have a closer look at the disk, it is divided into circular tracks. Okay, this is the surface of the disk. So here this is divided into circular tracks. Okay, this way it is circular way it is divided into tracks, and each track is again divided into sectors. Okay, so these are called sectors. Here you see one sector. Okay, this is one sector and another sector. Okay, this way the tracks are again subdivided into sectors, and this is one track and the next track. Okay, and again division of circular division of this disk is called tracks. And here, when the disk is divided into smaller units like this, okay, it will be easy to locate a particular data, right? For reading or writing, the first process is to locate it. We need to find where it is. These are all random access devices. Okay, any address is given. When an address is given, the read-write head can directly access data from that location. Okay, now if you see the address bit here, to locate a particular bit, the address bit specify the disk number. Okay, as we have many disks arranged, we need to first find from which disk, okay, the read or write is performed. Okay, in which particular disk the read or write operation need to be performed. So the address specifies the disk number. Okay, disks are numbered 1, 2, 3. So which particular disk, and in the disk addressed the disk surface. Okay, we need to find whether it is the top surface or the bottom surface. So the disk surface and the sector number. Okay, we have learned here that it is divided into sectors. Okay, this way it is divided into sectors. So it includes the sector number and the track within the sector. Okay, if this is a particular sector selected, and within that there are several tracks. So which particular track the data is to be read, and the local address. Okay, so these are all the components of the address bits. Address bits specify the disk number, okay, to select a particular disk among several disks, and the disk surface, and the particular sector, and in the sector which particular track. Okay, this is specified by the address. When the data is to be read from this, okay, to be transferred from this magnetic disks to the main memory, the address is sent, and using that address, the location is identified, and from the location, when that particular specified address come under the read write, here we have the read write head. When that specified location come under because this disk rotates, right, keep rotating, and when it comes under this read write head, it reads or write the character in the location. Okay. This is about magnetic disks. So this is how we see the hard disk. And disks that are permanently attached to the unit assembly and cannot be removed by the occasional user are called hard disk. Okay, we don't remove, it is internally fixed, that are permanently attached to the unit assembly and cannot be removed by the occasional user are hard disk. And the disk drive with removable disk is called floppy disk. Here this is floppy disk. Okay, it is a magnetic disk type. The operation is similar here. And the second storage device is magnetic tapes. It is a cheap storage device, but access time is slower, okay, because it is slower than that of magnetic disk. It is cheaper. Okay, why it is slower? Because the access here is sequential. Okay, when the tape, it is a tape rolled around, and when it is unwound, the character from it cannot be directly accessed. The read-write head, when it comes under the read-write head read the character or write the character at the location. Okay, but the access can only be sequential. So it takes a lot of time. Okay, the access time is more here. Okay, it is a slower device. The access is lower here compared to magnetic disk, and it is cheaper. The tape is a strip of plastic coated with a magnetic recording medium, and bits are recorded as magnetic spots on the tape along several tracks. Read-write heads, same as that, okay, magnetic discs. Read-write heads are mounted, one in each track, so that the data can be recorded and read as a sequence of characters. Okay, here the axis is sequential magnetic tapes. It is similar to the tape recorders. Yes, that's about auxiliary storage. Then let's move on to the next memory, storage memory, associative memory. Yeah, many data processing applications require search of information in memory. Okay, so when a content of memory is need to be accessed, it need to be located. Okay, searching is finding the item. Okay, finding the content, what is required, and retrieving that data, or maybe it may be instruction from memory. Okay, so generally the search procedure is choosing the sequence of locations, correct? If it is, as I said, if it is employee information, okay, in memory, we will have the employee, we will have at a particular, okay, in some sequential location, we will have the employee details. So from the first, we need to locate the starting address. We need to find the starting address where this employee details are. And these, some sequential addresses are chosen. And in that address, if suppose it is employee, let's say 101, this is the employee number. To search this, the address, okay, some set of addresses are selected, and in that address, each address, the content in each location is compared with this, correct? Okay, here this is a content to be searched, E101. We need to find the details about this particular employee. We have these employee details stored in memory. So when this is given, the address where this employee details are available, it is located, and then each address. So here the search is based on the address. Each location is identified, okay, first location, and then the content in this location is searched with E01. If it is matching, then match is found. Otherwise, it continues. Go to the next location. Okay, these are all related locations because these are all the address, okay, in which this employee, these are all the locations where this employee details are stored. So we have selected this address and this address location. Okay, this data is compared with this. This way, based on the address, the search is done. This is the general search procedure. And the time required to search the content is more here, because one is, the first process is finding the address, and then in the address searching the content, comparing how searching is done, comparing the content here with the content in this, okay, that is required, the given content. Okay, so if that matches, then it results in the record, okay, the data. Or if there is no match, it has to continue, but it is based on the address. So it takes a lot of time when it is done based on address. Okay, so the time can be reduced when the search can be done by the content of data. Okay, instead of locating it, okay, with the address, if directly the content can be checked, okay, without this address. If E01 is directly compared with the first employee number. Okay, if it is not, the next one. This way, if directly the content can be compared and a search can be done by the content, the address, the time can be reduced. Okay, time of finding the address can be reduced. Okay, so this way, associative memory is a memory unit accessed by content. Okay, not by address. It is accessed by content. It is called associative memory or content addressable memory. Okay, as here the search can be done by the content, not by the address. It is called content addressable memory. Okay, or it is called associative memory. So when a word is written into the associative memory, no address is given. Okay, but for writing a word, no address is needed. It is written in some empty location. Where there is an empty space in memory, there it is written. Okay, because it is not based on the storage, and the retrieval is not based on the address. It is based on the content. Okay, it is content addressable memory. So where there is an empty location, there it is stored. And same way, the word can be read from an associative memory when the word is specified. When the content is given, it can be directly read from the memory. And here searching can be done by the entire word. Okay, if suppose it is account number, we have account details. Okay, if it is to search AC101, okay, and let's say all the account numbers have this AC10102 and AC103. Okay, it is enough to search with this, correct? Okay, so here the keyword is this one, not AC. AC is common everywhere. Okay, so it can be the content. Here is the content that is to be searched, AC101 or AC102. But instead of searching with the whole content, sometimes a part of the content is taken, okay, as a key for search, and that is compared with the content of memory. So let's see the block diagram of associative memory. Here is the block diagram. This is associative memory. Yeah, associative memory, array and logic. Okay, why we call it as an array? Any memory. Yeah, it has, let's see this first. It has m words and n bits per word. Each word has n bits. Okay, so it is m by n array. You can represent this memory as an m by n array, where rows represent the words, okay, m words, and each word has n bits, okay. So n columns and m rows. The rows represent the words and columns represent the bits in each word, correct? In every cell of the associative memory, the logic for comparing the content, okay, given content with the content of the memory is stored. Okay, so this is associative memory, array and logic. This memory has m words and n bits per word, and the control signals read and write are used to read data from the memory, associative memory, or to write into this. This read is associated with output, right? When there is a read operation, the content is identified and it is resulted as output. Okay, and this write operation is associated with input. When the CPU want to write data into the memory, okay, it sends the input data is sent to the memory, and that is with the help of the control, or by enabling this write operation, input is stored, right? Writing is done. Storing the input into the memory means writing data into the memory. Okay, this way the content can be written into the memory. Write operation is associated with input and read is associated with output. Okay, reading data from memory. Here it is done based on the content. Okay, it is content addressable memory. And here we have three registers: argument register, okay, represented as A, and key register, key, and we have match register, M. Okay, this argument register is it has n bits. This argument register and key register has n bits, okay, as we have, as the number of bits in each word in the memory. Okay, so these can store, this argument register is used to store one word, okay, of n bits. Okay, a word of n bits, that is the okay, that is the content that is to be searched in the associative memory. Okay, that is stored in argument register. And key register is to identify the bits, or to identify the key. Okay, as I told you, the whole content may not be sometimes used to search, because searching the whole content, if a word has no n bits, searching if all the bits are used to search, okay, then all the bits need to be compared with all the n bits of each word in memory. So the time taken will be more. To reduce that, a particular key is selected from this, okay, from the argument, okay, from the word content to be searched. A key can be selected, and that can be compared with each and every identified bits in each word. Okay, so that is specified by the key register, which particular bits to be selected as key in the argument, okay, in the data that is to be searched. So this is kind of masking, okay. We know how the bits are masked, right? The key register, the bits to be bits in the argument register that are used as a key, okay, in those locations, in the corresponding bits in key register would be set to 1. All the other bits would be set to 0. Okay, if suppose in the in the argument register, the bits used as key are the first 3 bits. Okay, we are using the first 3 bits to search the content in memory. Okay, so first 3 bits of this key register is set to 1, and all the other bits would be 0. Okay, so for that we have this key register. I'll give you an example also. Okay, so for that, to set the key, okay, bits in the corresponding bit positions, the key register will have 1. So those bits in the argument registers are argument register are compared with the corresponding bits in each word in the memory, associative memory. And this match register is to, there are m bits here. Match register has m bits, okay, each for one word. Okay, here we have the first word in associative memory. So we have the corresponding match bit, okay, in the match register. And for the second word, we have a corresponding match bit. Okay, this way, how many words we have in memory, associative memory? We have m words. Okay, so here in this match register, we have m bits, each bit for each word in memory. When the argument register, when the content of this argument register is compared with each word in the associative memory, and if the match is found, okay, if it is matched, first argument register, content of argument register is compared with the first word in memory. If this matches, okay, that is done using the key bits, okay, where the particular bits are 1, those bits are compared with the bits, corresponding bits in this word 1. If those bits matches, the match register is set to 1. The corresponding match bit M1, let's say this is M1, is set to 1. If there is no match here, it is set to 0. And the search is done with the next word. Okay, next word of memory is compared with the word in the argument register. Okay, and if again this is match, if there is a match, this will be set to 1. Okay, the second corresponding match bit is set to 1. If there is no match, it is set to 0. Okay, finally the data in the match register gives us an idea about how many matches are there. Okay, how many words in memory are matching the argument, the given content. Okay, so for that we have the match register. The bits are set to 1 or 0 depending on the result of the search. If the word that is to be searched is found in memory, it is set to 1, otherwise it is 0. So here this is associative memory array and logic. We have m words in this and n bits per word. Okay, each word has n bits, and the controls used are read and write. Okay, read data, okay, through the output, to read data from the memory, and write is to input data, write data into the memory. And to search, okay, it is content addressable memory. Okay, so search of data can be done by the content. Okay, so the content to be searched is given in the argument register. And this argument register, data in the argument register is compared with the data in the word in the main memory. Okay, the associative memory. If it is found, if the bits in this argument register and the bits in this are matching, then the match register bit will be set to 1. The corresponding match register bit will be set to 1. Otherwise, it is 0. Okay. And here, instead of searching the entire word, okay, instead of matching the entire word in the argument register with the word in the memory, okay, to reduce the time, we can choose the key element, okay, from this keyword. A part of a word can be chosen. Okay, that is done by setting the corresponding bits in the key register as 1. So here is an example. Let's say this is A register, means argument register. The word in the argument register is 101111100. Okay, this is the word. Argument register contains the word that is to be searched. This is a word that is to be searched in memory, the search word. And K register is a key register. Okay, the bits of this register are set to 1. Okay, where in the argument register, the corresponding bits in the argument register can be used as a keyword, right? So here, these 3 bits are set to 1 and all the other bits are 0. Okay, so here these bits are cleared, means these bits will not be considered in search. Okay, these bits will not be compared with the word in the main memory, only where the corresponding bits in key register are 1. Okay, those bits are taken here, considered here. So this part is taken from argument register. And this is compared with word. Here we have the associative memory. Okay, these are the words in associative memory. Word 1, the content of word 1 is 100. The first 3 bits, we compare the first 3 bits, it is 100. So there is no match. Okay, and there is no match, and M is set to 0. M is the bit in the corresponding bit in the match register. Okay, as there is no match here, 101, first bit is compared. How the comparison is done? First bit is checked with this. It is correct. Okay, so one bit is set. Let's say x1. x1 is 1. And second bit, 0 is compared with 0. It is correct. Okay, it is matching. So x2, second position is set to 1. And the third bit is compared, 0 and 1. There is no match here. Okay, the two bits are different. So x3 would be 0. When we perform the AND operation, finally AND operation is performed. Okay, x1 and x2 and x3. Okay, that gives us 0. So if the result is 0, means there is no match. If the result is 1, it is matching. The bits are matching. So here the match bit of the corresponding match bit is 0, set to 0. And word 2 of the associative memory has the first 3 bit is 101. It is same as the content of the argument register. Okay, the word to be searched, 101. So here all these x1, x2, x3 would be 1, and when ANDed, the result would be 1. So there is the match register bit will be set to 1. So here we have a match found. Okay, this way all the words in the associative memory are compared, and all the words that are matching, that matches with the content of the argument register are resulted, okay, as output. This way a particular information, okay, content can be searched in content addressable memory. Here to make it clear, we have the associative memory of m word and n cells per word. Okay, here the number of words, each row represents, okay, the two-dimensional array we have here. Each row represents a word. Correct? We have m words. So row 1 is word 1, and row 2 is word 2. Okay, etc. Up to word I is row I is ith row is word I, and up to m words we have m words. And the columns are used to represent the bits. We have n bits here. Okay, so bit 1 at the first column, and bit 2, okay, second bit, third bit up to the jth bit, and then j plus 1 up to n, okay, n bits. So column is used to represent these in the two-dimensional array. These rows are used to represent the words, m words, and column is used to represent the bits in each word. So, and what is a cell here? The intersection of a row and a column, right? So here this is cell 1, 1. The cell at in the first word and the first position, first bit position in the first word. And C1, 2 is the cell at the second bit position in the first word. And C1, 3 and so on up to C1J is the jth bit in the first word. Okay, and C1N is the nth bit in the first word. We have n bits. Okay, same way here. C cell 2, 1 is the first bit in the second word. Okay, and C etc. up to C I1 is the first bit in the ith word. M words we have. So the first bit in the mth word is represented as, that cell is represented as C M1. Okay, so we have totally m cells and m words and m by n cells. Totally we have m by n cells, CMN, the last cell. And these are the bits of the corresponding bits of the match register. M1 is the first bit, and word I, okay, the corresponding match register bit is represented as MI here, and word M, the match register bit is MM. And the argument register bits A1, okay, A2 to AJ, and then up to AN. These all argument register, and the key register has n bits. Okay, so here A1 to AN, and key register has K1 to KN. And how the comparison is done: when a match register, the content is available in the argument register A. Okay, each bit is based on the key bit. If the key bit is 1, it is compared. If the key bit is 0, it is not compared. Okay, so A1 is compared with C11 and AJ is compared with C1J. Same way, A1 is compared with C11, C21, okay, etc. up to CMN. And AJ is compared with, and corresponding, when all these bits are compared, okay, and if all the bits are 1, okay, if there is match, M1 is set to 1, otherwise M1 is set to 0. This search is repeated for all the words in memory. Okay, each bit in the argument register, A1, A2, etc. up to AN is compared with the corresponding bits in word 1, C11, C12, etc. up to C1N. Okay, if all the bits are matching here, okay, if all the bits of this word in memory, associative memory, is same as the bits in the argument register, M1 is set to 1, otherwise it is set to 0. This is repeated, okay, for all the words. But the search condition is the k value, k bit should be 1. If k bit is 0, that bit is not compared. Here is one storage cell of associative memory. Okay, how the matching is done. To understand that, here is the bit. The input bit is sent. Okay, we are taking one single bit here. Okay, one cell means that stores one bit. Okay, input is given, input bit is given, input is associated with the write operation, right? To write the input data into the associative memory, this write should be 1. Okay, so associated with write. So input is written when write is enabled, when write is 1. So if the input is 0, that is written. Okay, this bit S represent set here and R is reset. The bit in each cell can be set or reset. Okay, so to set the input as it is, okay, and operation is performed with the input bit and this write. When it is enabled, the bit is written into the cell. Okay, and to reset, we just complement the input. Okay, because if the input is 1, resetting means it is setting it to 0. Okay, so it is complemented, and that is also written with the written when write control is enabled, associated with write operation, and is performed with write and the complemented input. So the bit is reset. So this way input is written into the cell. This is our bit. And here this Fij is the storage cell. Okay, and here read operation. To read the bit, what we do? Read is enabled. Read operation is enabled when read is 1. Okay, whatever the bit, 0 or 1 may be resulted here as the output. Okay, it can be read. And for comparing the process, to explain the search process we discussed here, comparing the bit of argument register with the word in the associative memory, when the key register bits are 1, okay, that is for comparing that we have the match logic here. Every cell has a match logic. Okay, how this is done? AI, okay, provided that kj is 1. Okay, if this is 1, AI is compared with Fij. And if it is equal, if AI is equal to Fij, okay, if it is equal, means Xj is 1. So here Xj is Aj Fij plus Aj dash Fij dash. Okay, here the condition is AI should be equal to Fij, then there is a match. Okay, so to set this Xj is the result of this match. So to set this bit, AND operation is performed with Aj, and that is a match logic. Aj is ANDed with Fij. if AJ is 1. Okay, let's say that if AJ is 1. If both these bits are 1, AJ is 1 and Fij is 1. When ANDed, when an AND operation is performed, we get the result as 1. 1 and 1 is 1. And when complemented, it becomes 0 and 0. So it is 0 here. Okay, when OR is done, the result is 1. So Xj is 1. And if AJ is 0, the bit to be compared, okay, searched as 0. And if this is 0 and if Fij is also 0, both are equal, here it is 0. Okay, and when complemented, the bits becomes 1. Okay, AJ is 0, so AJ dash complemented, it becomes 1. 1 and 1 is 1. So finally, when you perform OR operation, Xj is 1. So if both the bits are same, Xj is 1. If it is 1, if AJ is 1 and Fij is 0, now bits are different, right? So this case, when you perform AND, it is 0 here. And when complemented, 1 becomes 0 and 0 becomes 1. And when you perform AND here, this is 0. So 0 and 0 makes Xj 0. Okay, so here there is, when Xj is 0, okay, there is no match. Okay, so this match logic compares the bit AI with Fij. Okay, this is the storage cell, one storage cell in associative memory. Okay, so this is compared, and if both are equal, Xj is set to 1 and Mi is set to 1. Mi is the corresponding bit in the match register. When the bit in the match register is 1, means there is match. Okay, these are equal. If the bits are not equal, it is set to Xj is set to 0 and match register bit also will be 0. Okay, so this is the logic. So Mi is finally Mi match register bit. To set this match register bit, we perform AND operation on X1, X2, X3, etc. up to how many bits we have? N bits. So Xn. Okay, this we have taken a single bit, AI and Fij, so Xj. This way, every bit is compared, bit in a particular word is compared. Okay, and that if all the bits, if all Xi's are 1, okay, Xj's are 1, means all the bits are equal. Provided that K is 1, the bits are compared if Kj is 1. If Kj is 1, no need to compare it unnecessarily, waste the time. Okay, those words, those part of the word is not needed to be compared. Okay, so when if all these Xj are 1, Mi is set to 1. If one of this is 0, when you perform AND, it becomes 0. Mi becomes 0. Okay, so this way associative memory is used to perform a search in memory based on the content, not by the address. Compared to other memory components, this associative memory is expensive. Okay, because every cell need to maintain this match logic to compare the words. Correct? Okay, so it is generally used in computers where there is large data processing applications and where search time must be very short. Okay, so when the search is done based on the content, search time can be reduced. Okay, for that purpose, this associative memory is used. Got it? Any doubts? You can ask me if you have any doubts in this auxiliary memory and associative memory. Let me check the attendance. Please explain associative memory example. Yes. Here A register means it is an argument register. Okay, what we have discussed here is argument register is to hold the word that is to be searched. Okay, content addressable memory allows us to perform search based on the content. Okay, we don't need to locate the content with the address, with the help of the address. Okay, we don't need the address here. So directly the content is searched with the content in the memory. Okay, each word is searched with the content in the memory. So here argument register hold the data, that content that is to be searched in memory. Key register is to set the bits. Okay, in argument register, instead of taking the whole word and searching the entire word with the words in memory, some particular bits, okay, that are some keywords. Generally, when we search, we don't write a big sentence. We identify the keywords, right, to get the search done faster and accurate. We want the search to be done accurately. So what we do, we finally choose a keyword and give search, give in Google search and all. That's what we do. Same way here, to select a particular part of the word, okay, to search, to compare it with the word, same part of that word in memory. We set the bits, and then those corresponding bits in the key register are set to 1. If it is bit 2, 3, and 4 in the argument register, okay, in the word in the argument register, and the word, the bits in this word in associative memory to be searched. So these bits are, corresponding bits are set to 1 in key register. This key register decides, indicates that which particular bits in the words to be compared. Okay, is it the entire word to be compared? Comparing the entire word takes a lot of time. Okay, is it the entire word to be compared or a part of word? Part of word is identified the ones in the key register. Okay, the corresponding bits in the argument register are compared with the corresponding bits in the memory. Okay, so that is the word to be searched is in argument register, A register. Okay, key bits, key register, the bits in the corresponding bits, okay, that are used as a key to search, okay, in the memory. Those bits in the key register are set to 1. Here we are selecting these 3 bits as a key. Okay, so these 3 bits are set to 1. Okay, so this indicates the bits that need to be used as a key to search in the memory. Okay, so in memory also we need to select these first. This is the associative memory. So in this we need to select the first 3 bits of each word, because these bits are 1 here in the key register. Okay, these bits are selected and the bits in the argument register are compared with each bit of the words in the memory. Here, if you say, take the first word, word 1, here it is 101, here 100, there it is not matching. Okay, so M, the corresponding, we have a match register, right? Here we discussed that there is a match register. The bits are set to 1 or 0. The corresponding bits for first word, there is a match bit in the match register. And for the second word in memory, we have a match register bit in match register. Okay, so that bit is set to 0 if there is no match. And word 2, if you compare this 101 with the argument register, that is 101, it is matching. Okay, the bits are same. So M is set to 1. We don't need to compare the other bits, okay, because the key register bits in these positions are 0. Okay, so these bits in the content are not considered, okay, in search. Only these bits are taken as a key to search in the words in the associative memory to reduce the search time. Every time we don't have to take the first 3 bits. Okay, that depends on the key register. This is an example. As an example, here we have set the bits of this key register as 1, first 3 bits. Okay, if suppose it is, let's say it is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, if the bits of key register is like this, then the words that are the part of the word that has compared are these 3 words. Okay, these 3 bits are used as a key to compare. These 3 bits are checked with these 3 bits. And here in memory word 2, these 3 bits. So here word 1 matches with the argument, the content of argument register. So this bit will be 1 and this bit will be set to 0. There is no match here. Okay, that depends on the content to be searched. Okay, the key selected. Okay, fine.